The Ice Crossbow, a weapon that I've never been a huge fan of. Don't get me wrong, it's got a great style. I mean, at least the original version of it, being able to do 2 different attacks depending on how long you were holding down the attack button, but it was sort of a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none type of situation. So I think that the change-ups that have happened in the Update of Plenty are just nothing but good stuff for it. And basically what it does now is it still has its regular normal attack of freezing the enemies with a just normal shot, but it also has a secondary attack where it pierces through enemies and does criticals on anything that is frozen. Which just the ability to get criticals alone I think is going to help, but well, let's talk a little bit about what the original Ice Crossbow was, because it is very different from what it is these days. It was a weapon that, from what I remember, for a very long time was tactics-only scaling, but you could hold down the attack button to get sort of a somewhat more concentrated, heavy crossbow type of attack. At the same time, if you just tap the button, you would be able to get a freezing shot attack, sort of being a combination of the ice bow and the heavy crossbow, but not as good as either of them. And considering that you had to be using tactics to, have it scale properly, it was just, there were so many better options that you could possibly take, and certainly ones where you weren't going to be running out of ammo as much, and just in general, could do more damage. These days, having it scale with survival, I mean, with the whole idea that any sort of thing that does, like, heavy crowd control freezing is going to be a survival weapon, as well as, now that it is considered a crossbow and is two-handed and everything like that, just sort of fits a lot more in that type of archetype. That's just much, much better. And I mean, even more than that, like I said, the critical, the piercing, all of that sort of stuff I think is going to go far as when it comes to getting a lot of damage out of this weapon comparatively. Even though the real reason why I haven't wanted to use this weapon as of late was more or less because I guess you could call it bad will, even though like I said, I love the idea of having the whole Bloodborne style transforming weapon. It was just never very good. I tried using it a whole bunch of times, doing showcases with it and everything. It just never stacked up to almost any other weapon that you could possibly be using. It's like, it made me... I was kind of hesitant about doing this one, but clearly it has been changed up to being significantly better. You get this weapon, of course, from the first... Well, of course, I say, but... from the Timekeeper, who, for whatever reason, her boss-specific weapons are all ice-based. I still never really understood that. It's not like she has it's not like elemental attacks or anything have ever been a thing. Well, elemental attacks being associated with bosses have ever been a thing in Dead Cells, and, I mean, maybe even more than that. It's like, certainly you'd want to get her gigantic broadsword or, I don't know, throwing star attack, but it's like, no, you get ice shock, you get the ice crossbow, and why not? And also now light speed, I suppose, now with the one of the more recent updates. But it's like, even then, not quite the attacks that you would have expected. I don't know, I mean, I can't even think of, like, any other particular element that would be associated with any of the other bosses that exist in this game. So it's always one of those things that was just kind of odd, but at least it's a very easy weapon to get, especially if it turns out to be quite good. And I think I'll take this one into the sewers. I know that this has been famous last words for several runs at this point in time, but hey, it is a weapon that does piercing. It's a weapon that can freeze enemies. It's like these are two things that I think are going to be very good when it comes to dealing with the problems that arise when attacking the toxic miasmas in the super sewers. What is that area called? Corrupted Confinements, right? That's it? Well, whatever. Also combined with the fact that I'm going to be fighting a whole bunch more rats, as well as a whole bunch more rats and just like really grouped up enemies. I think this is going to be a good idea. That said, why did I have to take so much damage right at the very end here? That's unfortunate. Oh well, I guess I'm not going to get too broken up over it. We're going into the sewers. It's like, it should be expected that damage is going to be high and bad. And just... high and bad, I think, is the best way to put it. Striking a frozen... it's only melee only. Frostbite might be a good option here. I think that more than anything else, probably what I'm going to want to do is get some sort of... Well, probably upgrade this first before I start to reroll stuff on it, but get some sort of piercing on... At least, like, pierces through one enemy. Pierce through all enemies if possible. I'm not sure if that is a forbidden affix on this weapon, but it definitely does seem like something that would be extremely useful for setting up the whole critical for this weapon if I possibly can. I mean, that's the main strategy that I'm looking at right now. I think other than that, like anything that will... You know, having the tonic is just a good item in general, as well as Death Orb for making sure that I can get that really big AoE. But it's like, as always, with a lot of survival weapons, sometimes having something to compensate with the fact that this is a little bit... I mean, I guess it's only marginally slower compared to like how it used to be and everything, and compared to some of the other survival scaling weapons that exist in this game. But having something that can compensate for that regardless is going to be pretty helpful, and having anything that can synergize with, like, freezing, maybe just getting like a Giant's Whistle or a heavy grenade would kind of cover that, and would also kind of cover some really huge burst damage that I could possibly get out of this if I don't want to go for the piercing shot, or if for some reason the piercing shot doesn't really work. AoE, I think... AoE, I think, is going to work out as long as I can get one of those affixes eventually, but yeah, we'll see. As it is, it's just like... Having to do 2 shots, though, is a little bit of a tough ask. I mean, it's like, for as fast as Dead Cells moves just in general as a game, you gotta kind of be careful. I mean, it's sort of the same thing as when I was talking about using the... When I was talking about using, like, the twin daggers, where it's like you feel really tempted to get the full combo out, even though sometimes just using the regular piercing attacks... Okay, gotta remember that sometimes the vertical parts, the vertical hitbox on the weapon is not super amazing. Yeah, it's like, maybe it's just like what I should be doing is not trying to get the full freeze and pierce combo each time. Just, like, try and use the pierce combo to take out small enemies, and then use the freeze combo to take out anything that will do any more damage. Or just go for double pierce if I'm a little bit unsure. The critical is nice, but it's like, if getting the critical is going to kill me, clearly it's not that important. Well, either way, it's just like, this also is a ranged weapon. It does not have any sort of tracking like a lot of other tactic scaling weapons do, but... It should be still enough to take care of most enemies. Flying enemies, though, as always, going to be a pretty scary proposition. Critical plus 20% damage. Yeah, give me big upgrade right now. I think having larger base damage just alone is going to be very, very effective when it comes to just using the pierce attack, if I'm worried about that. And I mean, I'm going to say right now, I have confidence in this weapon. I think this weapon is going to be a good weapon. I think that I have judged this one too harshly in the past, and it is ready to be redeemed. It's just, yeah, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it because I really just need the help. It's ready to be redeemed. We all like a good redemption arc. I like a good redemption arc. I think it makes for a good episode when you get like that sort of storyline in it, right? Where it's like, hey, I used to hate the... Well, it's such a weird thing, because I loved how this weapon worked. I just hated that it wasn't a very good weapon. It's like, this is a weapon that had a lot of style and a lot of grace, but unfortunately its lack of funny face did make it so it was just like not very usable. Well, anyway. Okay. Oh, come on now. Did I get chomped on? No, I think that might have been me just losing the extra health that I was getting from the tonic. But it's like still, it's like this going from like, you know, bottom tier, never used to, yes, please give this to me anytime I have a survival run. I want to see that. I want to see that happen. I think we all want to see that happen. Either way, it's like, as I always say with Dead Cells, you know, every single weapon should have its like use in the game. None of them should be completely worthless. Sure, it's just like there's like a certain level of, I guess I'm going to say tiers. Even though, once again, never going to do a tier list for this game. But it's just like certainly some better weapons are better than others, but it's just like all of them should be usable. If you want to go put up with the sort of nonsense that you got to do to make the Valmont's whip or like the Nerves of Steel work, it's like those ones should be a little bit more powerful. Same thing with like the Lightning Bolt, for example. Sure, an awful lot of tonics here. Did I forget to turn on things that weren't tonic? Well, whatever. Maybe that was something that I was doing with the knockback shield episode. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I've played this game since the knockback shield episode, but still, I sure am seeing an awful lot of tonics as of right now. It's making me suspicious. Maybe the collector's just being particularly charitable as of right now. You know, like, hey, man, I know you've been having some rough times as of recent, especially because I saw that knockback shield episode, so I decided to put some of the more powerful stuff around here. You know, I can do that. It's like, you can? Yes. Wow. I mean, it is like magical alchemy and everything like that, and certainly this is more magical than others, given that it is a syringe that refills over time. At least that's the way I see it. There you are, speaking of which. I guess I shouldn't really be too... you know, as soon as I got hit by that, I just thought, should have just used the tonic. It's like, if I don't... Yeah, one of the things with using two-handed weapons is that I do not have the luxury of being able to carry around a shield to do, like, parries or, you know, have any sort of, like, my normal, lovely offhand, sort of, like, let's call them... Oh, boy. Maybe I should just go over the potion charge right now. Keep it simple, keep it safe. Yeah. Any like, safety net type of weapons. Technically, this one is by itself. It does have the whole freezing ability. Freezing enemies, good crowd control will prevent them from doing a whole lot of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I don't, freezing and relying on that from like a something that's not a secondary. This is kind of a tricky jump. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to take those ones right on the chin. Relying on freezing from a primary, like, main hand weapon and not like a freeze grenade or something like that is always kind of... I'm always kind of unsure about that. I feel like it's never quite as effective as I want it to be for taking up a slot. I would rather just have a shield or something like that most of the time. But at the same time, it's like I do got tonic and everything. Tonic's here. Your good friend Tonic is here to help you out. And I should remember that. I should be thankful for it. Frankly, my lack of appreciation for everything that Tonic has done for me, especially as of late, is frankly criminal. I should be doing a lot more to really thank Tonic and everything it's been doing for me. Okay, let's just get to the Corrupted Prisons. I don't really think there's too much else here. For some reason, I thought this was the Corrupted Prisons, but yeah. It is not called the Corrupted Confinements. It's just called the Corrupted Prison. Corrupted Confinements has a good alliteration, though. I'd say that's a good mouthfeel of a word. I don't really see why they don't have that. Why they decide not to be using that one anymore. Really, certainly, it's not as if the Well, what do I want to take here first off? Certainly it's not as if they have been averse to doing... Maybe just go with necromancy? Like, not a whole lot of... yeah, if you're using a... Yeah, that's actually one thing that from what I understand, they're going to be changing up, like, soonish? I'm not entirely sure how soon, but eventually we're going to get a few more crossbow-related mutations, because it really does prevent you from using a shield, so you should have the ability to... I mean, as of right now, aside from, like, yeah, necromancy or taking... Oh, that would actually be not a bad item. But, yeah, aside from taking, like, necromancy or, as I'm taking right now, gastronomy, it's like you don't really have too much for choices when it comes to using a crossbow. Survival scaling mutation-wise. So it's like, gonna be, I should have, nah, you know, I ain't gonna fret. It worked out. It worked out for the best. Okay. Just keep it simple, keep it safe. I said it before, I'll say it again. Okay. Okay. And okay. I was actually killing the weirded warrior up there that I guess is the final straw, but still. It's oh yeah, don't forget that like the weirded warriors do have the whole issue of I suppose they do also... You can sort of mess around with the whole... Well, they prevent you from hitting them in range with range attacks, and I guess the piercing attack still does kind of work, but I don't know if I really want to rely on that. No, if we're taking out the malaise, the toxic miasmas, I think that the full combo, and apparently several of the full combo at this rate, is completely warranted. Still going to continue going on with the same strategy that I had before of like, rats, get the piercing shot. More powerful enemies, you know the ones I'm talking about, are going to get the more powerful combo. Look, the extra time you take, it's going to be worth it. You're going to want to take that extra time too. Ow. Did a little bit slow. Just a tad slower than I thought it was going to. Because it's like I was hoping that the Weirder Warriors always have that little bit of a stalling on. That was a pretty cool attack by that Inquisitor, by the way. Shooting a thing off and then teleporting directly behind me. But yeah, Weird Warriors always have that little bit of lag time in between using their attacks, and can make dodging a little bit questionable, especially when I also have to deal with rats at the same time. That said, God, at least the slammers are not all that big of a deal here. That's just very nice to not have to worry too much about that. There's some pretty late game enemies that appear in a fairly early game part. Yep, there we go. That's the combo that I'm looking for. And hey, we finally get a prison depths where I don't have to just like book it and hope for the best. I'm pretty happy with this already. And in fact, you know, with the whole thing of like slowing down and stunning enemies, well, slowing down freezing enemies, it's like Crusher could be good. Mushroom Boy could be good at pushing enemies away from me. Crusher does some pretty great damage. Death Orb is nice and everything, but it doesn't really have like that extra utility that Crusher does have. And besides, this is also a very early version of it. I think it is worth switching out, seeing what else is happening. Oh, there's that frozen target thing that I was talking about. I've already gotten an upgrade for the ice crossbow. And I mean, you know, good offense can be as good as a good defense. For right now, at least. I think at least for the very beginning of the game, this is going to work out well. Any sort of damage over time, though, is going to make this a little bit trickier to actually line up the hits. Because it's like, that will break them out of the freeze. Freeze is always one of those, I mean, I've talked about this plenty of times, but just like freeze is always one of those things that exist in the game that are very fragile. I mean, you can knock enemies out of it, which is why stuff like the 175% damage on a frozen target is always a little bit sketchy to actually use. But hey, if I'm going to be explicitly using a weapon that does a lot of stuff with freeze, why not at least make an attempt? Hey, speaking of getting that good freeze in there, there we go. Parfait. Now then. Now, I notice right now that it's just like you can still, even when frozen. Oh man, is that giant killer? I love the giant killer. But I guess I can't really take it. Yeah, what was I saying here? It's like, you can still parry stuff while being frozen. That's terrible. They shouldn't be able to do that. I mean, I know, this is all, it's the entirety of the Weird Warriors is just their existence is to try and prevent you from just relying on range attacks all the time, every time, but still, while frozen, oh well, I guess I'm not really going to worry about it too much. Either way, I have 2 other skills that can deal with those problems now. And that's really all I should need to. Yeah. That's really all I should need to be able to carry me through the rest of the game, provided I'm not going to die here. I don't want to use a potion charge, you understand. I've already used one, and that's embarrassing enough. I mean, I know that it's just like, yeah, you made the mistake of going through the sewers. It's like, this is your penance. Climbing this wall. More references than nobody is ever going to get. But, like, still, I don't know. I don't know. I've kind of talked myself out of whatever point I was even trying to make there. Okay, there we go. Hey, the freezing shots still do damage. They just don't do as good a damage. However, hey, that's not bad. Oh, I might want to just take this one carefully so that I can get to the food shop, heal up. Probably not going to get a potion charge, but that's okay. Overall, just make sure that I don't lose this run if I'm getting so many pretty great advantages early on here. Of course, it says nothing for the rest of the run, as always, but I don't want to squander an excellent one at the beginning here for no reason. And by no reason, I mean out of pride. Fine, then. Fine, I suppose. You don't want to squander it out of an attempt to plan for later gain. I mean, I said before that it's just like preparation and all that. Being proactive can oftentimes be a lot better than being reactive. And by oftentimes, I mean pretty much always. But, you know. I don't know. I'm going to answer my own question there. I don't know what you're talking about. Use the potion charge. No, I will not use the potion charge. Non-existent chat that just exists in my brain now after doing streaming for too much lately. It's like you do streaming for long enough, man, and I think you just start to hear the voices, right? Even when they don't exist. I'm very scared. Okay, that should do it. Yeah, that weird, like, inability to hit above and below you very easily is not doing me any favors right now. Oh, no. Well, the slowing should be fine. I'm very scared. And, I mean, as we know, this wall is dangerous, and this is my penance. All right, we good. We good. And I think that might actually be the food shop that I'm looking for, which quite the sight for sore eyes. For sore point of light in the middle of a cloud. No, we're just going to go real quick and abuse teleportation through doors. That's what I call walking through a door, teleporting through a door. Other people may say that they turn into doors, but I'm not into that sort of like transhumanist nonsense. Okay. Yeah, get me in here. Okay, that is at least going to help a lot. Well, until I get hit again. We are talking about 5-cell mode here. As always, it is what it is. Send me to that challenge rift. Okay, come on, do this one a little bit better than last time. Although last time I had a particularly difficult one. I want to say that I am justified in taking the amount of damage that I did in the previous challenge rift. Well, either way, if it's a little bit simpler, it shouldn't be too much of a problem now, should it? Gotta love that timing. It's not the hardest or anything, and it's actually pretty generous. I think like the spikes need to be fully extended before they can even hurt you. But still, it is a scary sight to behold with your single point of light inside of your cloud face. And there you go. That's how you do that. Please ignore the previous time where I utterly failed at doing that. Just gonna throw that one out there. Into the void. Please, if you would be so kind, do not judge me too harshly. Anyway. Oh, come on now. What does this even have? It drops a grenade when explodes, shoots arrows when it must be the shoots arrows when destroyed, because it's just like that was silly. I'll do it though. These stupid crabs, their amazing dexterity astounds me and frustrates me to this very day. Once again, the crabs get katanas before the player characters. Do want to point that out. Hey man, the crabs have been putting in a lot of good work. All the other pelagic creatures around here, mostly just content with attacking you. Just think about the amount of tentacles around here. The crabs, on the other hand, have taken up the way of the sword, and have and it's paid dividends like you wouldn't even believe. Which I suppose is true. Oh well. Continuing on, though. Boy, I would like to get... maybe I should just focus on affording, like, many other healing... Maybe what I should do is I should switch out, like... As of right now, the extra ammo has not really been a big deal. Maybe I'll just switch that out for, like, I don't know, necromancy or something. That way, if I do take big hits, at least I'll have a little bit of a buffer there, and also I can take care of melee's boss fights, which I think is not a terrible idea. I mean, certainly 1,000 gold compared to 5,000 gold or whatever I would have to pay in the shop to reroll my mutations is probably a little bit better of a value proposition as it is. Perhaps. I don't know. Either way, it could just also lead to my death, as I find out in boss fights, the arrows are perhaps somewhat more valuable than I was giving them credit for. Keep getting those stuns. Hey, if the stun doesn't work out to set up a combo, the stun will at least work out to make sure that these guys are extra slowed and stunned inside of the crusher. Which, hey, not a bad combination. Of course, Crossbow is just, it's a good item. It is a good item. Especially now that it has the ability to slow down enemies within it. It's a very crowd control focused run, but it is working out nonetheless. The damage is certainly still here. The utility is off the charts. The damage is still here. It's a good build, is what I'm going to say. All right. I do believe that I'm just going to go grab these 2 stat scrolls and get out of here. There is no reason to be hanging around here anymore. I mean, certainly with how the runs have been going thus far, I think that it's like kind of cutting my stay brief in the towers. is a good idea. Well, they're called ramparts. It's really more of a wall. But that's neither here nor there. What do you got? What do you got is what I'm going to say. Even though it's like I didn't get the 60 kills. Why am I saying that? That's what I would say if I got the 60 kills. I got up to like 45 or 48, especially after going into like the challenge rift there and everything. I want to re-roll this to try and get like that piercing for the AoE and everything. But also I know that it's like, I gotta hang on to my money a little bit more right now. It's getting a little bit sketchy. I'm just saying. Well, anyway, I'm going to take Gastronomy again. I'm going to take Necromancy, and I am going to just... Disengagement, I think, is a pretty good option, all things considered. It's a very safe option, giving yourself a little bit of a emergency disengagement when the time comes, which is probably going to be sooner than later. And, of course, Concierge was the only choice here because, oh boy, was there... absolutely no way that I was going to... Okay. There was absolutely no way that I was going to fight the Conjunctivius with this combo. Okay, so it looks like when the Crusher is destroyed, we get fire. Which is not bad. It's a little bit of extra damage, but... that is the thing that is kind of messing up my combination as of right now. And I kind of want to, like, do that, and there. Yeah, that's the basic combo that I'm looking at right now. Got the big hit from the heavy grenade at the same time that I got the... Yeah, I'm forgetting the button presses. The pressure, it's getting to me, even though this is the easiest boss in the game. Ah, it got to me. Whatever. Come on now. You know, it's a good thing that I am about to lose a lot of my... I would like to have seen what I got for a legendary item, by the way. I'm about to get a lot of my malaise cured right now. Shouldn't be a problem. Although I don't really know exactly how much it is. It's like, usually it's about half your bar. 3, not too bad. I can deal with having 3 points of malaise for the time being. Telluric Shock, what do you got? Necessarily better than the powerful grenade. I mean, I could use a... That's got a decent AoE. It'll hit enemies slightly above it pretty well, and I'm not really planning to fight any more like flying enemies. This is definitely a run that... I'm going to say right now is going to be taken to the Timekeeper than anybody else. And it's like, yeah, still has like the freezing synergy. No, I think this will work out just fine. Just fine. Perfectly and totally okay. Once again, Stilt Village was the only option because I really want to try and get the potion charge in here before things become... difficult to get potion charges. You understand. It's going to happen sooner than later. And by sooner than later, I mean as soon as I leave this area. There is but one potion charge remaining on the horizon. And I know that I don't necessarily need to have every single one of the potion charges possible, but it makes me feel better and also makes me feel like a cool elite gamer when I'm able to go into the final boss fight with all of my potions. Like, come on, man. Once again, if I'm not styling on the game, what am I doing with my time? It makes no sense. You should always be thinking about how you can look cooler when playing a video game. Think about that, or at least do it faster, minimum. Could be either way, really. In fact, I would say that there is an overlap of both of those in most situations. Well, either way, I'm going to roll away from that real quick. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yep. Okay, at least I am somewhat jumping over the... Yeah, okay. At least I'm jumping over the Weird Warriors a little bit better now. Frankly, I don't know why I missed that one earlier. It's just like, that was a lot of damage that I took, and it's kind of very difficult. Weirded warriors are not super difficult to deal with. I suppose, yeah, it's like a little bit trickiness. They're not like the most roughest, toughest than the rest of them. Gotta stop just quoting Knuckles all the time. But then again, I don't know. Why did I not get the roll there? Whatever. Hey, without a parry in this episode, that's the sort of questions that I now need to be asking myself, because this is the life that I lead. Anyway. I mean, I guess, like, thus far, certainly the damage is here. The utility, as I was saying, that was weird. The utility is here and everything. You get a lot of great stuff with this weapon, so it's just like, I might as well do, like, kind of foolish clears. Normally I'm sort of like a 1-2 to rush on ouch. To rush on out of the fog fjord as soon as possible. Well, I want the stats, but, you know. Actually, maybe you would allow me this one time. Just for now. I mean, I rarely ever actually use the necklace when I get the chance regardless, so I don't think anybody's gonna complain too much either way. But the stats, though. They're very good stats. I want that to be absolutely clear. The stats right now, these are some top tier, very good stats. Triple S rated. Or at least, well, I suppose Triple S would probably be 3 survival. But, hey, one little bit of brutality for a lot of extra health is just as good, if you ask me. Is there any chance that I am going to be able to get to 20,000 gold in this area? I want to say yes. I want to say there's probably a very good chance that I will be able to, but I'm probably not going to be able to buy anything else. But that's why I got Gastronomy. Hey, Gastronomy's good, right? Why did I do that? Well, whatever. I mean, with the way that Necromancy works now, I'll be able to easily get back up to 50% health, no problem at all. It's just, you know, the malaise. Now with Necromancy, it's like should be able to do basically the same thing as soon as I get to a boss and don't take too much extra damage. Which, as always, is easier said than done sometimes, especially in 5-cell mode, but still. Yeah, but still, though. Not even. To be honest, I'm not even going to mess around with those guys. It's just, that's a little bit too worrisome of a position to put myself in, because it's like I am going to be doing pretty bad if I get hit by a kamikaze bat right now. Or ever. But, you know, especially right now. But also at any point in time. They're a rough character, you see. Oh man, I didn't even see the... Too many things happening on the screen. Didn't even see the worm down there. That's the penance again that I'm talking about. No, wait, this is definitely not like a penance area. I suppose it does have the Weirded Warriors in it, which is like for a ranged weapon, maybe like one could call it a questionable call on my part, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say a great idea all around and give myself a round of applause. I mean, I'm not actually going to do that because that would require me to take my hands off the controller, which would, let's just say, if you do that, you're probably just going to instantly die in Dead Cells. I think that is a truism that a lot of people have accepted. And yeah. All right. Okay, and we're looking good. Yep. It is, like I said, it is, well, I'm very close to getting that. Well, first off, I will heal back up to 50% health. Just killing enemies. And I should be able to get that 20,000 gold. $20,000. be able to afford that potion charge soon enough. However, and it does mean that I'm probably not going to be able to buy anything else at all, which is, yeah, oh man. In fact, this is like 300 left. I should be able to accomplish this. If I knew that I was going to be this close, I probably would have just saved one of the both of the keys is what I'm trying to say. Saved both of the keys and then used them all to, yeah, use them all to get like the parry shield type of area kind of sorted out for myself. Well, hey, in the key area here, I went through with invisibility, so there's still quite a few enemies left. Yeah, well, this is what we're looking at. Come on now, it's so close. I want to get this potion charge. I feel like at this point I have earned this potion charge. Now, there are no other enemies that exist in the entirety of the map, which is pretty cool. I could also look around for maybe like a wall rune, which I usually don't even give the time of day because, whatever, it's a pretty minor amount of money. But at the same time, the minor amount of money is all I need. Yeah, what do you got? Selling that for the big buff. Actually, that was enough. Oh yeah, it's selling it also not even just for the big buff, also was for good, just enough money to be able to afford the thing here too. Gastronomy actually kind of coming in handy way more than I usually think of it being. I don't know, I usually don't even bother taking gastronomy most of the time, but it's like now that necromancy doesn't work nearly as well, it is becoming surprisingly good. I don't know. Anyway, clock tower, because I said, hey, I'm going to be going for the timekeeper. Might as well hit up the clock tower. This is not... The hitboxes on this are not really ones that are going to work very well with the giant, just in general. So I think that this is the right call to be making. Once again. Either way, as long as I just book it out of here as fast as possible, I should have like 3 minutes or something left on this buff. At least that's all I can hope. As much as I would have liked to get that big heal from it, it's like the malaise ain't looking too hot. So I would much rather be throwing down a little bit of health, but keeping my malaise at least somewhat managed. I could probably also really abuse the, this would definitely be a place to abuse the invisibility if I really wanted to, and I do, but I also don't know if that's a good idea. However, it is an option. Screw it, I'm gonna do it. Well, using the invincibility does also mean that I'm not really going to be able to use my buff too much. There's a real give and take here. Okay, come on now. There, and... I mean, I think that maybe trying to get some money would be not a bad idea. I never really thought, but it's like you really can take out those Oven Knights pretty easily with this weapon, can't you? With the whole, like, just shoot a couple freezing bolts there, break the shield, and then freeze and pull, basically. Call it heat and sip. Yeah. A good weapon, not one germane to this run. Okay. What do we got here? I'm worried, but it's also like, it ain't going too bad right now. I don't think that there's not really too much reason to be super concerned. Obviously, using my hard-earned potion charge is not really something I want to do, but it's like, I'd rather do that than die. Yeah. Nah. I don't know why I'm so... I so rarely get to mess around with the invisibility necklace. It's a rarity for me. Just let me have it. Come on. Still don't want to put anything in the backpack because I'm not going to use it regardless. And also, you know, I won't be able to sell it. There we go. And I want to be able to sell... As we've seen before, it's like money. Especially when you are somebody that ignores a lot of like the wall runes and everything, such as myself, can sometimes be... Ooh, that was a little close. Can sometimes be a little bit difficult to come by. And that reflects badly on myself and my ability to explore. So... If I didn't get that there, you know how many people would have been like, oh, well, why don't you just do the full clear again? And you know how many people are going to do that anyway? Oh no, the chat's taking over the brain again. Ah, get it out, get it out. Ouch, damn chat. As I wash my hands. Okay, continuing on here, though. I don't know if there's really too much of any... As soon as I get the Explorer's Rune, I can basically just kind of book it out of here. There's not really too much... the health. My health! Not really too much else that I'm really concerned about here. I mean, it's not even like the... Yeah, please give me that. Any sort of malaise cure right now is going to be very appreciated. Any sort of cure also, just in general, is going to be appreciated. However, if something is malaised up, that is prime opportunity to sell it and get back a pretty big buff, which will be very nice for this upcoming fight. Man, the last place. The last place could possibly be, eh? Yeah, well, somehow I'm not entirely surprised, but also I am entirely disappointed. Okay. Let him start up that swing. Ooh. And let you do that just because it's like... I wanted to make them think that they had me cornered, that they had me shoved into the spotlight, losing my religion. But I maybe didn't play that super well, but it worked out fine anyway. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Is there really any difference? Hey, Super Mario mode on top of 3 survival? Oh yeah, this is clearly the one to be taking. You never see, speaking of ones that you never see Super Mario mode. Although I have been seeing it way more often lately. Really? I would have thought there would have been an automaton there. Well, anyway. To be honest, now is the point in time to start taking, like, a tonic. Which I might do if they give me the option. Though Ice Armor does also have freezing synergy. Shouldn't forget about that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna make good usage out of it. Because, like, yeah, there's freezing at the same time that you also get to block a hit. Yeah. This is a good idea. Oh, wow, I would have missed a scroll just right off screen there. By the way, how we doing right now? 28? Looking good, looking good. Oh, and also scroll fragment there, too. Scroll fragments are, of course, the lowest of priorities, but there's still something. There's still something to check out if it is not too inconvenient to do so. Fire should probably... No! Fire did not take care of that guy. Okay, well, anyway. Sell the cherry. I'm going to book it out of here. And hopefully have a pretty good fight. Now, obviously, especially when you're using survival, best way to deal with the timekeeper is to take a shield in. Because she's very vulnerable to parrying, but yeah, not really going to be too much of a thing in this fight now, is it? Well, this is definitely where having the ice armor, I think, is going to help. Having tonic would have also helped too. Really trying to abuse a lot of the slowdown and everything, and God, just trying to get that basic like jump, roll, jump combination working in my favor. And also, I'm gonna bleeding, sure. 50% when I'm max HP, never gonna be relevant. Yeah. Yeah, jump, roll, jump when she's throwing the shuriken, because those things are kind of hard to dodge. All right. Hey, it's also fitting because it's just like it is her weapon. Kind of. Before she gave up on the art of the icicle for the art of the big sword. Okay, the damage is certainly pretty good. I should probably actually, now that I'm thinking about it, just in case I get hit by the grappling hook attack, I should probably make sure that I have my ice armor up and ready to go. Because that is the time where it's going to be most important, let's be honest here. Oh, no, she's gaining resistance. Oh, no, I think that was a bleeding, actually, looking at it. Got it. Okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't really think about it, but it's just like, that's true. The bleeding is going to mess up my whole combination when it comes to... Well, it would have, but I mean, it's going to also be relevant in the future days, too. It's going to mess up my my ability to freeze enemies over and over. Yeah, maybe that's not as good of a plan as I thought. Getting a little bit of extra synergistic potential is not worth it. Well, I guess I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. And I think I'm going to... Let's go into the castle. I tried the castle last time with the knockback shield episode. Went terribly. Went just the absolute worst. However, I was going to say maybe it'll go better, but it's like, can I really say that? Whatever. It's also been a while since I've been in here, and since I have to go into the castle this time, this is not the giant route. This is the regular size route. This is like the medium sized route. That it's like, why not? Why not? Answer me. Kind of would like to take tonic, but it's like also, you know. If anything, I should really be... Man, 50,000 damage whenever I'm getting critical. If anything, I should really be a lot more careful for... Good. Let this guy teleport up here, or get in range first. That'll work. Yeah, okay. All right, 29 on the stats, too. It is looking pretty all right. And a lot of the... Despite not having a shield in here, which is pretty bad against the Guardian Knights, of course, I should actually be mostly okay. Because it's like Guardian Knights, the Guardian Knights, Demons, Lancers, all going to fall pretty quickly to the whole freezing combo because they can't get off their attacks, and if they can't really move around too well, it's like I can take them out very easily. I do think that this is one of the rare weapons that actually becomes better over the course of the game. That it's like it's kind of at its worst at the beginning of the game, where, you know, you got to deal with rats and everything, but even then the piercing shot does pretty well to deal with that. Yeah, but like, look at this. Although, you know, also, it is definitely worth remembering that I was very blessed on stats this run. I got 3 different challenge rifts. And, of course, the necklace I'm currently working with, also very good. But it's like, even then, I do think that... like, maybe the one thing to say about this is that this is a weapon that works best alone, as we're seeing right now. Where it's like, when I'm not messing around with, like, trying to set up a whole bunch of combos with skills and other items, that it's just like, this is fine by itself. It has a good combination unto itself, which is kind of the same thing for the original version of this weapon. And that's... I went all the way back to the beginning. What the hell? Whoops. Should have been paying more attention to the map rather than trying to figure out what I'm trying to say as far as my final thoughts on the weapon goes. But yeah, final thoughts on the weapons. It's like, yeah, this is good. It is one that I think benefits a lot more from having a build around it that works towards utility rather than going raw damage. I always like raw damage, but it's just like the ability to be able to you know, protect yourself, I think is more valuable just because it's like this is, well, I mean, being two-handed weapons, of course, you don't have pretty limited options for stuff there, but like it does fine damage by itself. It does fine critical by itself. It's like doing stuff like trying to get plus 100% on burning and oiled up targets. I don't think is important or even is actually going to be actively detrimental to you. Trying to find like a bunch of synergies to utilize with this weapon. So that's, I mean, to be honest, but also though, but flamethrower turret's looking pretty hot over there, pun intended. I mean, look, we're basically at the end of the run, right? I'm just saying. Flamethrower turret looking a little thick down there, ain't it? Well, anyway. I think I'm gonna go take it. It's, again, actively detrimental to the weapon, you understand. I do want to make that clear. But the benefit of having it is worth it? Ah, screw it. I'm going to go do it. You can't stop me. You're not here right now. No, well, it's right there anyway. Look, there were several very close legendary items that I could have gotten, or at least got very close to getting, and I wasn't able to get them. I feel like I earned this, and I will hear nothing else on the subject. Now then, should also be super easy to get like all the affixes that I want out of this too. Yeah, colorless tits. This is what I need. Now then. Get rid of you, and... well, I guess it's not, like, super amazing right now, but 100% worth taking. Anyway, 2 keys, need 1 more. Also, so close to 60 kills. I should really just get that right now. In fact, I should be able to do it quite easily if I roll through here. Oh, that wasn't a path through the wall. That wasn't clear. Okay, there's 60. That means that I might be able to just get something really good at the end of this area as well, because that's kind of a rarity when we're talking about survival runs, which I think speaks well to the weapon. Is a good endorsement of the weapon, if nothing else. Well, anyway, continuing on here. For some reason, I got confused and thought that I had a shield for a second, and then I'm like, wait a second, no, I don't. What are you doing? I was gonna try to parry that, and it's like, it's not how that do. Oh, there's a giant killer again. I do like giant killer. Well, extra damage on burning. I'm gonna say worth it. Also, a lot of very nice weapons here too. Oh, there's Scythe Claw, which is pretty nice. 100% on burning and oiled up targets, once again, would be the optimal. Oh my, what a nice broadsword. Anyway, nothing here to take. Nothing here to take. I just wanted to get a nice little extra upgrade for the weapon du jour, and leave it at that. I'm gonna return to my grinding through the castle, as one does. And hey, at least this will be, like, saving the best for last. This will be a super trivial fight against this elite. And also, getting into the 5-cell area should not be an issue at all. Not even a little bit, to get to the food shop with all of my potion charges and just a little bit of malaise to take care of. Unless something goes horribly, terribly wrong. Ah, well, thank you, shield. Ice armor. You done did it once again. This is why I got you on the team, after all. There we are. Oh yeah, Super Mario mode. I keep forgetting. I mean, if I took the Nutcracker that I saw earlier, that might... No, not even then. It's a gimmicky affix that, if I'm being real, has virtually no in-game tactical usage. Could make for a good collector's item if you were planning to sell it. Good, and didn't die there. Good. I miss when the initial explosion on those things didn't actually hurt you. Hey, knockback shield. I should just take you along for the ride. I should have just taken the knockback shield along for the ride. Just be like, yeah, now it's the real knockback shield run. Starts here. That would be disingenuous. Also, nice. That is exactly what I wanted to see. See, that's for me not mocking the knockback shield. That is my reward for successfully completing my penance. I've become a giant tree and the harbinger of the new miracle. It's pretty great. Let me tell you. I love being a tree. Let's go. I'm not going to worry too much if I miss like a scroll there or anything. I have my doubts. I think that as of right now with 32, I'm looking good. We're looking good. Okay, get over here. Yeah, well, hey. If the run provides, who am I to say no? Poison target, oil that burns. Come on. 10% damage, not bad. Like, I'm looking for spreads oil. Well, whatever, 10% and covers the ground in oil. Sure, whatever. That's fine. Either way, any sort of oil enabling thing is what I'm looking for here. Now then. Gotta be choosy with the ice shield. Like I said, that is kind of like my parry replacement. Yeah, I do have to remember. It's like this is also like not a bad time to actually try and like work with a little bit more fire focused stuff too, just because it's like, man, oh man, the Hand of the King, I forgot, stays frozen for no time at all. And it's kind of a fool's errand to even try and get like the full combo here. I'm just gonna like mash attack and leave it at that. Yeah. Now against these guys, should be a little bit different of a story, but not that much different of a story. Let's get him Eterna stunned. Okay. I got 2 points of malaise that I can still take. Also, yeah, it's like I can get the bleed stacks on there, I can get the fire on there. This is the time when this weapon would really start to otherwise like sort of taper off in usefulness. So I think this was actually the right call. By the way, phrase of the episode. This was the right call. I don't know why that's suddenly coming up an awful lot, but it just is. Like that's my go-to filler phrase when I have nothing of interest to say. Often it's something along the lines of, you know, saying, all right, now, or to be honest, or etc. But it's the right call in this one, which is a weird one, but I don't know, whatever. I don't know, whatever is the way that I just quickly end lines of thought that aren't going anywhere. Otherwise, they just go in circles forever. Anyway, there's insight into how much I actually think about what I say. How much I listen to myself. Which I listen to myself an awful lot, so I know how obnoxious that I am most of the time. Comes part and parcel with being myself. Being Doc Firebird, coming out 2021. That's right, the movie's already in production. I assume that it would just be like that one episode of Big Wolf on Campus where He was where the main character was controlled by a N64 controller. Once again, references that are for nobody but myself. Not a bad show either, by the way. It was basically Teen Wolf, the show. Except, to be honest, maybe like a little bit better than Teen Wolf? I don't know. I really like that show as... Oh, I don't have the bleeding anymore. That's not good. Thought I done had the bleeding. Also sort of like a lighter Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but then again, it's also been many years since I've seen that show, so probably doesn't hold up as well. All right, good and good. But once again, N64 controller controlling a werewolf. What more do you want? All right, spike shield. No. Knockback shield is my buddy for the run. We're gonna finish this one, and it's gonna be super successful. I'm gonna be very happy with it, and we're also gonna count this as the knockback shield part 2. Anyway, continuing on. Still looking for. Yeesh. Okay. Yep. Oh, when I don't have too much else for like big attacks, and I think this is actually worth taking for the extra damage. Not the extra damage, the extra health. Complete opposite of that, alien key. No, it's like a... Yeah, when I don't have too much else for burst damage, I do think the ability to be able to use the ice armor here is... Oh, he's gonna say it? He's gonna say it? Look at him right now. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about, is he going to say it? He knows that he the way the conversation is going, there's no way that he could do anything except for say it. Is he going to do it? Oh, his will is faltering. It was the right call to take the ice armor. Damn it. Okay, well, it's fine. Look, I'll fix it in post. That's not how these episodes work. I feel like I'm a lot more willing to do editing than most people, but it's like not to that level. Yeah. Ooh, banana. All right, one more, and okay, what do you got? I might be able to afford something before we end here. Nothing of any real interest, but still an interesting selection of options nonetheless. Probably just going to be directly down from here, and then... No. Yes. No. Yeah? Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm good. This is where I want to go. A little bit more to the right, but more or less the correct location. All right, what do we got? Flint. That's another weapon that it's like never really been particularly impressed with. But that has not gotten a rework that I think is going to turn around my opinion on it anytime soon. Good. And good. Yeah. I mean, apparently, yeah, my ice armor still has the bleed, which I think makes it doubly effective at taking out the librarians, which is only a good thing for me. Now, this might actually be a time where I can get the 60 kills in the Astrolabe. I'm gonna make a real attempt at this. Yeah. Why not? This is certainly like a effective weapon for potentially trying to make that work. Ice armor, similarly, should be able to take care of a lot of the issues that I run up against. Currently at full health, no malaise. So I want to say that's saying that I'm doing a pretty good job. No, you don't. It's way too hard to try and jump up in the air and then nail them with the piercing shot. By the way, never actually got any of the speaking of piercing shots, never actually got any of the piercing affixes for the... Never got any of the piercing affixes for the Ice Crossbow at any point in time, which is too bad. I was sort of hoping. Yo, walk back. Yeah, there we go. That's the plan. All right, 6 left. And as long as I continue to do the proper combo like that, I should be able to get this. And then we can finally see what's in that door. I hope it's armor or something. I already know what it is. People told me, but it's nothing, by the way. It's nothing. But it's like, why not at least do it once? For fun, you know. For fun. Looking good. Looking pretty saucy. Now then, let's get me up here. I would like to get the, yeah. I would like to get the, wow, what am I even trying to think of? Here we go. Explorer's Rune procced, which, oh, I guess it did, actually. I missed it. Okay, why not? Yeah, that'll work. Get the Explorer's Rune procced, and then see if there's anything else, and there's no other scrolls around here. I'm looking good. Once again, quite saucy. Okay. Just slowly and carefully. I mean, you know, despite saying like a lot of slowly and carefully type of things, the run has actually not been that long. It's been going along at a good clip, all things considered. Okay. Okay. And okay. Okay. What's up with the Donkey Kong? I don't know. Either way, it's just like, yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I need to do. No, I'm out of here. Okay. Up here. The crowd control, the damage. I mean, again, it's like there is a level of I did have a lot of bonus stats coming in this run, but at the same time, it's like even then, sometimes that just turns a bad weapon to an okay weapon. Usually, don't get like this level of quite good weaponry. None of these are very good. All right, well, that was worth getting. No, that's it. Anyway, I didn't sell any food, so let's switch this out for something like Dead Inside You. I guess it's not, aside from maybe like Frostbite, but Frostbite never does enough damage to really be worthwhile. How about just Emergency Triage? Yeah, I got all 4 potion charges. Worst comes to worst, I get some, very defensively focused mutations, which are always the way that I usually like playing 5-cell mode regardless. Yeah. No, it's all looking pretty good. It's all looking pretty good. Yeah, I didn't take any of my tonics, eh? Now then. Good, good. Freezing, not going... I mean, as you can see already, freezing is kind of quite ineffective. So unfortunately, kind of like in the same issue that I was having prior to this point, with the Hand of the King, that's just like, this one not gonna go as good as good. So I guess I might as well just like spam the... Yeah, it seems like just spam the frost attack is kind of the way that I should be going right now. It's unfortunate, but it's just like, yeah, when you have things that rely on freezing like that, that just kind of happens. This is, I mean, basically, so yeah, this does actually work pretty well even in late game. The only problem is that, boy, there's a big drop off against the bosses. You're probably going to want to switch to a different weapon when it comes to fighting Hand of King and also Collect Man. Man who collects. Okay. Well, yeah, that's why I got the flamethrower turret after all. Now this is actually where like the double ammo on this would have come in handy. All right, well, doesn't matter too much anyway. I guess he does eventually lose resistance to it, but it's like, not to the extent that I want him to. Also, the knockback shield is here. I do want everybody to remember that the knockback shield is in fact here. It's been hanging out in the backpack the entire time. Where does this character carry a backpack? I don't know, but he certainly is. Yeah, a little bit slow. That's all right. The defensive options that I already got for a lot of my mutations are going to help me out quite a bit. Not even going to be a big deal. It's me. I'm a good boy. I'm the best boy. You look at the if you look at the credits for being Doc Firebird, I am listed, of course, as best boy. You would think, like, I don't know, based on a real person or something like that, maybe Doc Firebird as himself. But why would I go by my fake sweet nom for the internet in a movie, in the credits of a movie? Yeah, I think that should be the last one, right? The answer is, I don't want you knowing my real name. I mean, you already know my real name. In fact, you could ask anybody right now. But no, you don't know my real last name. Big difference. Big importance. Actually, I want to be listed as like hats or gloves. Like some of the old Adult Swim shows. There we are. Please put me, if you're going to credit me for anything. I do not want to be very special thanks. That's what you give to people who watch the movie, or, well, play the game, I suppose, more specifically. You know what I'm saying. I want to be a specific title, and I want it to be a good one. Good, that should do it. Hey, wait a second. Why is the potion still... Did I have, for some reason, the... did I have 2 shots of the Panacea? That was weird. Anyway, okay, there we go. That was a great knockback shield episode. Hope y'all enjoyed.